It's Sunday morning, and every decent man and woman is listening to Test Miles with Nick Miles on FM News 101 KXL. Buckle in.
The Test Miles team fat with turkey in the studio for this Sunday between Christmas and Thanksgiving. Happy holidays, everybody. Everyone have a good Christmas.
Interesting Christmas.
Oh, that's right. You were sick. The whole family was sick.
911 calls to the house.
Oh, no.
I do have to
Wouldn't be
shout
Christmas.
out to the firemen. My sister, the firemen, show up to the house and she said, "Oh, it is Merry Christmas."
Wow.
Oh, your sister has a sense of humor. How was your holiday, Sean?
Not eventful, so I'm just happy.
You had just lots of turkey.
Ham, actually, this
I
year.
deep fried my turkey in true American style. I had a big peanut oil fryer going and dipped the turkey in. 45 minutes later, there's nothing like deep fried turkey.
What else did
It's
you
the
deep
best.
fry?
No, I didn't do anything else. I mean, that was just enough.
Are you
Deep
sure?
fried. Yeah, no, absolutely sure. So what have we got on today's show? We're going to talk about some of the cars we've been driving over the holiday season. We're going to find out about Mini of Portland. You know, Mini seems to be one of the iconic cars for the Portlander. We're going to find out all about them. Jeff Zerschmidt's going to be here. He has some interesting news. He's taking over one of the Test Miles real estate pieces of real estate. He's going to be running that. We're going to find out all about that. And then Peter Clover's going to be here from Mobile West to tell us the final deals of the year before they disappear off his shelf. So we have an absolutely packed show. This morning, what have I been driving? I've been in an interesting piece of equipment, the Buick Enclave. This is the largest Buick they make, a 5-door, 7-passenger SUV. We took all the family to watch Star Wars in it, and it was actually quite comfortable. The only thing I would say, it's a little bit high for Granddad. We had to hoist him up into the seat, but he likes the captain's chairs. Smooth, quiet ride, luxurious cabin, very big cargo capacity, nice space. The third row wasn't too bad. We have the two nephews, William in the back, who's on the British Olympic team, and Nicholas, his brother, who's a trampoline instructor, and then my sister in the middle.
But your nephew is a gymnast, so couldn't you actually fold him in the backseat of a Porsche?
We know.
I mean,
Well,
he's that flexible.
But he's tiny. I mean, he's very muscular, but he's small. But his brother's a big bruiser. He's the size of me. Like he's a wrestler.
What did he just say?
A big bruiser.
Just your size.
Yeah, I'm talking about width, not height.
Oh, okay.
So, and then my brother-in-law sat up front, and the grandparents in the middle seat. So there was plenty of room. You can get up to 8 if you get the bench seat in the back. It is a little clumsy. I think the tech in it's a little old. The audio and climate controls are a little antiquated. But it does have a very responsive V6 engine, 288 horsepower, 6-speed automatic, front and all-wheel drive. It does say 24 miles a gallon on my piece of paper here. Not sure I was getting
That's
that,
what it says.
That's what it says. I've been through since
Cruise
Thursday.
control downhill for about 20 miles.
I've been through a tank of gas since Thursday. What does it compete with? Acura's MDX, Lincoln MKT, and the Infiniti QX60. It does need a little bit of a boost in the tech level. It does start at just under $40,000. Not sure you'd want to be in anything less than mid-40s to low 50s for this car. Also been driving the Mazda CX-5. How many of these have you sold this year, Bran?
Two.
I think I'm up to 3 with 2 more pending. So 3 more pending, actually. Yeah. So this is probably, it used to be, Kias is what we used to get for our
Do we
friends.
get to open a Lithia dealership here pretty quick?
I still get Kias
What,
for
to
my
get
friends.
we own a Lithia dealership?
I think,
that would be nice.
if you get to 6 in a month, you get to.
CX-5 is a 5-door crossover. It's really engaging driving. It's got the zoom driving feeling. Fuel efficient. Mazda, by the way, the most fuel efficient car company in North America. And it does have a very high crash test score, a very desirable vehicle. 4-cylinder 2-liter or 2.5 liter 4-cylinder as well, up to 184 horsepower, 6-speed automatic or 6-speed manual, forward or all-wheel drive, and it says 35 miles a gallon here. I'd go with that. What does it compete against? Pretty much everything in that small size SUV. It does come in 3 trim levels. Starts at $22,675. Sean.
I've been driving the Mazda MX-5 Miata Club Edition, and this is the best-selling roadster of all time. The Club Edition comes with better brakes, better suspension, some better rims. They come with BBS rims instead of the standard Mazda rims. Some of the best or good features about the car is how fast you can actually put the top down. It's just a little flick of the button and throw it right back, and it takes literally 2 seconds to put the top down. The drive is unbelievable if you're on some curvy roads. This being a rear-wheel drive car actually feels like an awesome little roadster to drive. One of the bad about the car is getting out of the vehicle. Kind of got to bend some parts and position yourself to get out of it, and especially you have to get the door out if you're trying to get out of a tighter spot.
So what I recommend is move your elbow up
Onto the
around
fender.
to the B pillar, and then pull yourself up and out.
I'm the
and
same
drive
way.
through Starbucks is the way to go.
Oh yeah,
You don't want to.
Brad will tell you he's an expert on getting in and out of difficult cars.
Well, speaking of the Starbucks, I had to go through a drive-through and I couldn't reach it, so I had to pop the top just to get my food.
Oh, that's sad.
and
You know
I
what
did-
Brad does is put butter around the door.
That's
But-
right.
I did, being in Portland weather in this time of the year, I did take the top down on the couple days of sunny or non-rain we had, and the heater keeps you pretty warm in there. 155 horsepower. It has the 2-liter 4-cylinder Skyactiv engine, 6-speed manual, which we actually are doing a segment on. It's one of 26 cars still available with a manual.
Yeah, and the manual numbers are shrinking. A lot of car companies discontinuing them.
I think
love
only
them.
4% of the cars available.
Sold, probably, yeah.
I love the manual in this car. I've been actually getting 30 miles to the gallon in it, and it only cost me $15 to fill up. So
The only cars I would tell you I will not have in a manual is the Hellcats.
Why? I'd love one in a manual.
No, the manual's horrible in the Hellcats. Well known for being an awful manual. The automatic's much faster. Plus, you can do more burnouts in automatic. Sorry, go on.
competition for the the Miata is the Mini Roadster Fiat 124 Spider, which is just a reincarnation of itself. BMW Z4, Audi TT comes in 3 editions: the Sport, Club, and Grand Touring. Starting price for the Miata is $24,915, and the one I was test driving was $33,000 and change.
Excellent. Brad, what have you been into?
I feel like it should be Monty Python now for something completely different.
Yes.
It's the Hyundai Veloster.
Yeah.
The Velociraptor.
Yes. This is the
it's
3-door.
3-door hatchback. So it competes with, think about the VW GTI or the Fiesta ST. So it's supposed to be that
Yeah, okay.
compact.
It's
little-
built. Yeah, it's built on the same platform as the Kia Soul. Right?
Yeah. And huge improvements over the last few years. In 2012, it came out with a lackluster performance in the engine. And now the turbo will generate over 200 horsepower, but it's still lacking substantially in its 0 to 60 times. It's still in the high 7 seconds, which is a full second more than its competition.
Yeah.
And it's, they've made some improvements on the inside and the outside.
I think it's a sexy car, Brad, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's a sexy performing car.
No. And it feels okay when you're driving, but if you really want to get on it, I recently had gotten out of the Miata, and it's just, it's a different animal, but it's still, compared to its competition, is really tough.
I think it goes along with the rest of the Hyundai vehicles. I really want to love them, but there's something that kind of holds
Just
me back.
lacking. It
Yeah.
feels almost to me like Mitsubishi, where they're about 2 years behind where they should be now.
Right.
And they're always chasing their tail a little bit
Right.
on some
But
things.
Mitsubishi at least dropped the price to compensate for that.
True. But, you can get into the base Veloster, which is only 132 horsepower. For $19,000, you get the turbo is 23.8, and it's front-wheel drive.
Right.
So there's not an all-wheel drive option in this.
I don't think that. It doesn't really feel like it needs to be an all-wheel drive.
I'd at least want to differentiate myself maybe a little bit.
Right.
Have something. But
Well,
it was...
they are coming out with a Kia Soul that says all-wheel drive.
Yeah,
They're using
that's right.
that hybrid engine in the back to power the back wheels, so they may do that in this too.
And in driving around, you see other vehicles cruising around, and what I found were substantially middle-aged women driving this car.
Really?
It was not...
Midlife crisis car, you mean?
No, just kind of PT Cruiser replacement cars or something like that.
That was a really, really low blow.
Well, the people who bought that car. It's actually much easier to get in than some of the others. And when you're inside, the cabin space feels pretty good.
Right.
but it's not as appointed on the inside as you would think for a redo on the vehicle. It was for 2016. It's a somewhat of a cosmetic redo from 2015, but still, it's just like red tinting on the seatbelts and things like that.
Almost there, but not quite. I do like the car, but it's almost there, but not
almost,
quite.
but not quite.
All right, that's what we've been driving this week. Coming up, we're going to find out all about Mini of Portland. Is this the car that Portlanders should be driving? There's several good arguments for that, and we'll be finding out what Jeff Zerschmid's been up to from the Oregonian. He's actually taking over some real estate on Test Miles. Plus, Peter Clovis here from Mobile West. That's all coming up next on Test Miles. I'm Nick Miles.
Test Miles, like NASCAR, but with one right turn. TestMiles.com.
Welcome back to Test Miles and FM News 101 KXL, the automotive radio show live from our studios in downtown Portland. For all the latest automotive news, follow us on Twitter at Test Miles.
Here's our fun fact. The original Mini was launched as the Morris Mini Minor and the Austin 7 on August 26, 1959.
How was that, Brad? You remember that?
It wasn't bad. A little small, but nice.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Brad was right there, involved in that whole thing. What is the best-selling vehicle in Oregon? If you said the Toyota Prius, you would be wrong. It's actually the Ram 1500. But the car that fits the Oregon landscape and image the best, is it a Prius or perhaps it's a Mini? After all, Mini's marketing phrase is not normal, which seems to fit very well with Portland's Keep Portland Weird, right, Brad? Mike Roof is here he's the general manager over at the Mini Portland store, and he's joining us in the studio. We're honored, by the way, that you gave up your Christmas Sunday to come and spend time with us. You've got a lot going on down there at the Mini store, haven't you?
We do, Nick, and I really appreciate having the opportunity to be on with you here and especially talk about something that I'm really passionate about, and that's the Mini Coopers.
You have a reputation for doing things slightly out of the box. There is a great story that I read just this morning where you turned your dealership into a Western town. You even had a bull riding ring in there.
We did, and it was probably one of the most fun events that we've done there. We basically had the opportunity to introduce the Portland market to some new product that we had coming out, and we turned the whole store into a Western storefront, including bales of hay inside. We had a bucking bull that prospective customers had the opportunity to ride. If they stayed on a certain period of time, that would give them a better discount on the Mini.
Oh, yeah, I'd have been into that.
So we definitely like to mix it up a little bit. Like the brand, it's fun. It puts smiles on people's face. That's one of the most important things that we hear all the time is, why do you have a Mini? And they just said, it makes me smile. It's a fun car to drive, and we need to create that type of experience for people when they come into our store as well.
I think that should be a standard feature of the store. If you have the bucking bull, you can stay on for X amount of minutes. You can get a $500 discount or something because, bar a few broken bones, I'd be doing that to try and get a better discount on the car. You have a brand new arrival at your store coming. You may not have them, or you have them yet. They're coming.
We have two at our store right now. We've actually delivered the first one this week. We have one for test driving right now.
That's the Mini Clubman, right?
It's the Mini Clubman. And
this is the estate car. I have to say estate car because I said station wagon, got my hand smacked by Patrick over at Mini. It's the estate version of the Mini, and I will tell you, my favorite Mini, hands down. It's just, I can get 5 dogs in the back of that car. It's all, and the last one I got
that
38
should
miles.
Not always be the prerequisite to you liking a vehicle.
What, because I can get 5 dogs in
Yes.
it? You try to live in my house when you can't take your dogs anywhere.
And you could even fit your tennis ball launcher out of the sunroof in the top, Nick.
Exactly. That way, I see a car, a project car for 2016 coming. It's one of my favorites, but they have really changed this Mini, not just in the looks, which, by the way, one of the best back ends of a Mini I've ever seen, but they've really changed the quality of the materials, haven't they?
It really, when you look at this Mini, and if you have the opportunity to experience like you have recently, the only thing that's the same from the previous generation is the name Clubman and the 2 club doors in the back. Everything else is built on the new BMW platform that launches us into a segment that Mini's never been in, and that's the premium compact, moving up one level in that area. And it is luxury. In fact, when I had the opportunity to drive it, I came back and ordered my Clubman, which should be here in January, and I'm very excited about it.
Right.
He's even got a smile on his face when he says that. Did you notice?
I will tell you that, I mean, there's things in this car that I haven't seen before in anything from Mini. I mean, the back doors, the automatic opening back doors, that's incredible.
It almost sounds like an oxymoron when you say Mini and the Clubman with all that room and capability.
Well, it's now the largest Mini they've ever made, isn't it?
It is, but it kind of follows the format from the introduction of Minis back in '59. It wasn't too much later than the first introduction in '59 that they came out with the
original Clubman.
Well, not the original Clubman. Back then, it was called the Morris Mini Traveler.
Okay.
And then they came out with the Austin 7 Countryman, which was about 9 inches longer than the original Mini that came out as well. But the Clubman was first called a Clubman in 1969. And then in 2007, when they introduced it to the U.S. market, it was definitely the largest Mini at that time. But you're right, the new 2016 Clubman that's here now is a whole new ballgame.
I have to tell you a couple of things about this. I'm gonna reveal something that I've never revealed before.
You're short?
No, everybody knows that. But
okay.
at least I'm taller than Kyle Keenan, and he's much shorter than I am. But I will tell you, one of the things that I love about the new Mini is you can get those Chesterfield couches on the inside, the Chesterfield couch like weave on the inside of the seats. I know that Peter Clover's been doing that over in these interiors at Mobile West for a while, and now you can get it on the Mini. You can also get the Union Jack embroidered on the seats that I love. But here's the thing that most people don't know. Every time I'm on the radio or on the television, I always wear Union Jack socks. And that just made me really, really happy because now I can get a Union Jack on the inside of the car. So that I'm all about the Union. I even have a Union Jack belt on today, by the way.
Excellent, Nick. We'll have to outfit you with the Clubman, and when the new convertible comes out in March, one of the options is to have a Union Jack soft top with it as well.
No, it's not easy. It's not hard to sell me on these things.
You know you're in
It's pretty
Lars'
easy.
studio.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
But it is the original imperial rulers. So I think Lars, being a conservative would be okay. Mike, tell us where the store's located before we crash into the CBS News.
Absolutely. We're a mile east of 217. We're on 9134 Southwest Canyon Road, cross street at 91st. It's a location that we moved to in February of 2012. And we're expanding to better serve the needs of our Mini customers out there as well.
All right, if you go into the Mini store now, you just go tell Mike that Nick sent you, and he'll let you test drive that new Clubman.
And maybe he'll have some Union Jack socks to sell.
Oh, there you go. You probably have a bunch of Union Jack stuff to sell, don't you? Like mini memorabilia or stuff.
Come to Santa's workshop, Nick.
Oh, I love every second of it. You listen to Test Miles on FM News 101 KXL. When we come back, we're going to find out what Jeff Zerschmied's been up to and the fact that he's taken over some real estate for Test Miles. That's next. Stay connected on KXL. I'm Nick Miles.
Throw it in neutral and coast in with testmiles.com.
Live from our studios in downtown Portland on a Sunday morning, this is America's Car Radio Show. Test Miles, thank you for joining us and being part of the Car Nation. For more fun facts about cars, we have a Facebook page. It's Test Miles ENT.
Here's another fun fact. In 1937, GMC introduced its first sport utility vehicle, the GMC Suburban.
How was that, Brad?
I owned two, actually, hauling horses. They were spectacular for what they did. And you know what you could get in those? A lot of dogs.
I like that. I like the idea of getting a lot of dogs. All right, I know. You've been visiting testmiles.com on a daily basis, but the website is about to change and undergo an influx of content. Jeff Zerschmied is here, our friend from the Oregonian, and now he's going to be providing content for testmiles.com. Your first article already went up, Jeff.
First two articles.
Two. I need to log on right now and check out the second one.
Check it
I've
out.
only read the
I
first
also
one.
put up the Audi TT. We're going to make that a good mix of your video reviews and my written reviews.
Right.
And I'm a big believer in keeping things short and to the point. You're not going to have to wade through 2 pages of me talking about the great trip I went on and any other extraneous stuff.
You've always been one of my favorite reads. I mean, a solid car guy that talks about the vehicles and leaves a lot of the personal opinion is only through experience that you put in there, which I really like that a lot of times. Sometimes I have read some writers out of LA, no names to be mentioned, that talk about, dinner conversation and that sort of thing. It has nothing to do with the car. Exploits of executives. For me, it's all about the car and then personal experiences that have led you to form an opinion. And I love that's what you write about. So the first article you put up was what?
Buick Regal.
And
great new car from Buick. Buick is having a renaissance, and they've got a sport compact car or midsize car that can really compete with the best of the Japanese and even the Europeans now.
Do you think they're struggling with an identity problem?
I think they're finding their identity. I mean, for the longest time, for 100 years, Buick was, and I say this in the review, Buick was sort of wedged in there with Oldsmobile and Pontiac and Cadillac as sort of a mid-luxury brand. And the definition of luxury in the 50s was, does it have air conditioning? Does it have power seats? And does it have white wall tires?
Is that true, Brad?
It is.
Yeah, Brad was there in the 50s.
My dad went through the hierarchy, and I mean, of the GM line and Chevy, and we made it up to the Buick Riviera, and that was the pinnacle. I mean, that was great. That was better than the Cadillac.
And so today, Buick is are they a luxury brand?
Yes, very much so. But luxury, the definition of what people expect when you talk about a luxury car, that has changed. Now you've got to have performance, where before, there were sports cars and there were luxury cars, and your grandfather drove a luxury car.
Right.
And now, in order to be a luxury car, you've got to have that engine performance. You've got to have the handling. You have to have the technology. And you still have to have comfort and those luxurious leather touch surfaces and all those things that define a great car right now.
I think their ads have resonated. If you've seen them where the women are at the club waiting in line and they're looking at their phone, the guy's going to be in a Buick, and that was my grandfather's car, and then the good-looking guy gets out of the really nice-looking Buick.
Yeah.
She goes, that's not your grandfather.
Right.
Well, and they have a manual transmission again. You can get all-wheel drive. You can get a manual transmission. And they are they're comfortable. They're fun to drive. I think people who are shopping in the midsize sedan segment really need to go look at Regal and check it out.
I think one of the things with Buick for me was they've always been great performers, but I've really not understood where they fall in the marketplace, because they've called themselves the doctor's car for a while, and I'm not sure, is that the plastic surgeon from Beverly Hills, or is that the country GP from Oregon?
Anesthesiologist.
Yeah. It's hard to really know where they fall in that. I did do some ice driving with Nick Richards and the Buick team in Montreal a couple of years ago. Impressed. I mean, I took the traction control off this, drove it across an ice lake, got it caught in the snow, had to be dug out, put the traction control back on, no problem. And the vehicle's a great snow performer and all-wheel drive.
I think if you're shopping Acura, Infiniti, Lexus, even BMW, you should also have that Buick on your list. Go there. I mean, it's all right there on Canyon Road, right?
Right.
Go and drive the car. Form your own opinion. I mean, that's if you want to get back to what Test Miles is going to be all about online. It's going to be about, we're going to give you the information that you need in a good short read that you can just take a minute or two to peruse. We're going to tell you about the engine, the power, the performance, the handling, and the comfort, and more or less, and how it drives,
right,
compared to the other things, because we drive everything,
right.
And then encourage you to go out and form your own opinion about the car, because it's such a personal decision.
The other great thing, of course, about testmiles.com is you can hear Test Miles radio show on a podcast version there all the time. So Sean puts those up so you can listen. We have actually, it's a celebration today. We should mention this. That's because this will be what completes 2 years of Test Miles, this show, when we finish it today. We've been on the air exactly 2 years, and I got some amazing news from the radio station last week that depending on what demographic you look at, in the last 12 months, the Test Mile audience has grown 50%. and we're
So
absolutely,
we have 2 people?
Yeah, four. We doubled it. We had 1 the first year, 2 the second year. Well, no, we actually we have a lot of people, and I think the show is actually now listed as one of the top radio shows in Portland, up against the music stations, and definitely the number 1 talk show, as KXL is the number 1 news station. So we're very happy about.
So we had to step
numbers.
up our game and have Jeff on board.
Yes, we're really trying to increase the
credibility.
quality and credibility of the show. You're absolutely right, Brad. Jeff, what was the second article you've done for Test Miles?
Audi TT. Put that one up just day before yesterday, Christmas Eve. I loved that car, of course. I mean, it's an all-wheel drive sports car. How am I not going to love it?
There isn't really anything that competes with it. I mean, I sat there thinking about this for a day.
There's nothing like it else in the market. If you want that all-wheel drive, you're really looking at TT. You've got some great engine options with it. You get the great Audi comfort. It is cozy, especially for a taller guy like myself or Brad. You'll find that it's you don't get in it so much as you put it on.
So for Kyle Keenan and I, it's much
for you
easier
and
to
Kyle,
get in, yeah.
You'd have to like throw things back and forth between the driver and passenger seat.
I mean, him being shorter than me, it means he can actually fit in it better than I can. But for me, it's a nice fit.
Yeah, and it's a great car for the Northwest. If you want a little fastback sports coupe in the Northwest, the Audi TT is fantastic. It's an all-weather, all-season car.
He just texted me, actually. He wants to know, the pedals adjustable?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, good. He's okay then. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Jeff, what's coming up with you in the Oregonian and trips? Are you going to auto shows?
I'm
anything
headed
exciting?
to the Chicago Auto Show.
Excellent.
And of course, we'll be here for the Portland Auto Show. The Oregonian's doing 2 special sections, as usual, in advance of the Portland Auto Show. I'm writing material for those, and I'm writing material for the Souvenir Show Guide, the magazine that you get. Portland Auto Show is going to be fantastic this year. Our show has been coming up in the world. We're getting a lot more of the interesting one-off cars, the concepts and things, and the automakers are spending a lot more time on Portland. But then I'll be going to Chicago, which is great. I love that. And yesterday's Oregonian had my review of the new 2016 Chevy Camaro, which is getting well-deserved accolades.
The
It's
article or
actually-
the car?
The car.
Well, the article always gets lots of accolades, Brad. We also, next week's show, will be, that's one of the contenders for our car of the year. We'll be announcing our car of the year on next week's show. And the Camaro, unfortunately, didn't make the NACTOY jury. The Malibu did. So they had 3 possible Chevys there, the Volt, the Malibu, and the Camaro. And interestingly enough, the Malibu made it. But Jeff, thanks very much for being on the show. You're listening to Test Miles and FM News 101 KXL. When we come back, the closeout deals at Mobile West from Peter Clover. He'll be here to tell us about those. Plus, we may have some reveals of what cars we'll be talking about in the future and where we'll be broadcasting from. That's coming next on Test Miles. You're listening to FM News 101 KXL. Stay connected. I'm Nick Miles.
Test Miles on FM News 101.
This is how we like to do Sunday mornings, live from our studio downtown Portland. It's Test Miles, your car radio show, and we'd like to thank you for being part of the Car Nation. For more fun facts about car, check out that Facebook page.
Here's our final fun fact. Ice cream trucks are illegal in Indianola, Iowa.
Well, I don't even know where Indianola, Iowa is, but there you go.
I feel like I should be doing a Music Man bit now. Iowa.
All right. Did you get what you wanted for Christmas, Brad?
Yeah, I got this shirt that I bought for myself, and I got some shoes.
You know what I bought
was
for
perfect.
myself? I bought myself a hoverboard for Christmas. And now I can't find the charger, and I'm scared. I can't take it on the plane either. If you didn't get what you wanted for Christmas, Peter Clover's here from Mobile West because it's your final closeouts of the year. You have some amazing aftermarket stuff that you're going to give the Test Miles listeners one last chance this year to get their hands on. What's on your Christmas list for everybody? What they didn't get for Christmas, maybe they can come to the store and get.
Absolutely, because you know what? Starting today, this is the time where you get to get get the gifts that you didn't get for yourself.
And I understood. I bought a new mattress. So our presents to each other this year was a new bed. We decided not to buy each other Christmas gifts. We bought a new bed and a new mattress. When we were in the mattress store, the guy told me there's a inventory tax. I didn't know about this in Oregon, so he had to get rid of as many mattresses before the end of the year, so he didn't have to pay inventory tax. So,
An inventory tax?
Yeah.
I know there's a liter tax in Washington on alcohol, but
no inventory. So do you pay an inventory tax? Peter?
Oh, yeah. If it's
All
an
right.
inventory end of the year, you've got to pay taxes on it.
All right. So what do you not want to pay inventory tax on this year?
anything.
Anything and everything. So please come see me this week. No, there are a couple of really good deals. For the kids out there that new drivers, we've got a Pioneer AM/FM CD player with Bluetooth, $100.
That has Bluetooth in it.
That has Bluetooth in it. Make
so
your
that's
phone
about-
calls, stream audio, full smartphone interface,
Hands-free.
all the good
You
stuff.
probably couldn't buy. Let me just think. You couldn't buy a decent earpiece and a CD player for that price. You couldn't. There's no way.
No, you can't do a decent headpiece for
Right.
$100.
Right.
So
Nice.
So
Okay.
smoke a deal. Also, when your wife got grumpy, let's get you the new the Clifford Smart Start system. So remote start system for your car with the cell phone interface, so she can do it from her iPhone or Android phone inside the house. Warm up her car before she even has to get outside.
Well, I'd like to do that.
Okay,
not
I know
just-
it's
not
just me,
not
but
just my other half.
My car is parked outside. My wife's car's inside.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So,
You lose again, Brad.
however you need to do that to make yourself happy, that's just fine.
I love that. So
But $399 done complete. That's like $300 off right now.
So say the price again.
$399 installed.
Install $399.
Yeah,
remote
that's with the
start?
remote start with the cell phone interface.
Oh,
so
I
you
like
can
it.
use your touch screen of your smartphone. You can do it from the office building downtown, fire it up in the parking garage downstairs.
I
you
like
can
the
fire
idea
it
of
up
that.
from the top of the ski lift, anywhere there's cell phone service. Anyway.
Top of the ski lift.
Hey,
Because-
no.
Yeah, no, I get it.
No,
I
that's
get it.
fantastic.
It's a great
I've
idea.
got 12 minutes till I'm at the lodge.
Right.
Boom, fire it up. Car, windows de-iced, car's toasty warm, heated seats have been turned on. I hop in, unlock.
I can't tell you enough that the Buick that I'm driving right now has the auto start in it, and it's the best thing ever. It's just too cold to get in a car right now, especially for someone that I spend a lot of time in warmer states. What else we got, Peter?
Absolutely. And then we have got 2 audio upgrade packages. This is everything in the car. New head unit, amplifier, speakers, subwoofer, labor, parts, done. Pretty much any car out there. 2 systems from Kenwood. Without a touchscreen, $750. That's 500-watt amp, 2 woofers, new speakers, non-touchscreen radio with Bluetooth, iPod, CD player, all the good stuff.
Nice.
$1,000 even if we upgrade you to one of the touchscreens.
Wow. So $1,000, and now
Including labor, including parts.
installation as well.
Installed, done and done. Done and done means done and done.
$1,000.
So if you're buying a new car, you go buy the base model.
Yeah, put that in. That's nicer than what comes in a new
And then
car
you go
by
to
a
the-
lot.
You go to Peter's place and
Well, for
put
some
in
people, it makes
upgrade.
it. See, a lot of people. I'm one of these people who's fairly guilty of this. Is that I want cars, and then by the time I finish putting all the options on it, like I'm $20,000 about where I thought I was.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you have to forego things that you can't get in them, but then you can, next year you can come into Peters and actually get them installed in your vehicle, which I love.
Oh.
By the way, will you do Union Jack embroidered flags on your seats?
Perfectly normal.
We're not
every
getting
day.
it on our test miles car, are we? Because I've seen the upholstery already.
Wait. Oh, now, thank you for
Now,
that idea, Brad.
You're,
Thank you.
you're breaking the secret. No, this year's test miles does not have Union Jacks on it, but
What?
It's a Suburban.
Send
it's
it
a
back.
Suburban.
Send it back.
Next year we'll do a Rover, and then we'll do some Union Jacks on it and get that all
Or a
dialed
Mini.
up. Or a Mini.
Yeah, there we go.
Absolutely.
Maybe
need to
perhaps
do
we
a
could put
muscle car next year.
1,000 horsepower in a Mini. What
Okay.
about that? We'll put a.
We'll just cut the back seats out, put a blown small block Chev right there. I'm down.
Yeah, we'll talk to Brian down at his shop in Salem
Mm-hmm.
and see if he can put 1,000 horsepower in a Mini. That would be fun.
Like it?
All right.
Perfectly
Peter,
normal.
remind everybody before we run out of time where your shop is located and how they can get these great deals.
Absolutely. Shop set just moved to 2111 Northeast MLK Jr. That is.
And they just come in and say you're from Test. You heard it on Test Miles.
Heard it on Test
And
Miles.
what's the website?
mwpdx.us.
All right, there's your deals. If you didn't get what you wanted for Christmas, Peter
Just
will
see
help
Peter.
you out. Yeah, Peter will help you out. Also known as Santa Claus 2.0 for the rest of us. Thank you to all the guests today on Test Miles. Of course, you can listen 24/7 at testmiles.com. Read Jeff's article. Check out some of the new minis down at Mini of Portland. Mike Roof will have those for you there. And go to Mobile West. And we love you. Go to testmiles.com. We'll see you next week for our new show of the new year. I'm Nick Miles.
Test Miles, like NASCAR, but with one right turn. Testmiles.com.